Welcome to the Astro Imaging Journey channel. Please enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome back to my Astro Imaging Journey channel. In this part, we're going to be doing a little bit more denoising. So let's open up our multi-scale linear transform process that we're going to use for denoising. This is also used for sharpening later on if we so choose. But right now we're going to be using it for reducing the noise. So the first thing I want to do is I want to create a new preview. It's going to include some background as well as some nebulosity. I'm going to just create a preview of this part right here and zoom out. So make that a little bit smaller. There we go. No, let's go bigger. That way we can see the noise. And this is one of those things where reference Warren Keller's PixInsight book, the Masters of PixInsight workshops. There's a ton of resources out there that better explains these thresholds, amounts, iterations, how to use them. If you're looking for a starting point, pause the video, plug in values as you see them here, and they should work pretty well for you as a good starting point, and then you'll have to do your own research into what you should and shouldn't change. I am in no way an expert. I've said this before. This has worked for me on most of my data sets, so this is what I go with. And if you're looking for an explanation of what amount does and what threshold does, I am definitely not the person to ask. I pick a starting point, I make some tweaks until I find something that works, and then I move on. One thing that we can do though is that little caveat aside, is we can look at our linear mask. Now, you'll see a lot of tutorials where you create a luminance mask and apply it, and the process is pretty good about doing its own mask. And we're going to make masks later on, and if the process can do it and it can do it well, then let's not reinvent the wheel. But if you're more comfortable with creating your own mask and applying it and doing it that way, then by all means do so. But I like to use the linear mask that's built into the process now. Since I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with it, I like it. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to open up this preview window. We're going to let it think here for a second. Okay, now that that's up, let's move this off to the side so we can see it. And you can see in the preview with what we have set here, it looks like it's going to do a pretty good job. We pull this down over here, we'll just, so we can see these two stars and these two stars here. You can see the salt and peppering here, and it's really smoothed out. Looks really good. So these settings look like they're going to work for us, and we can always look at preview mask to see what it's masking out, and we can adjust certain parameters like our amplification. Maybe we don't want to, or maybe we want more of the stars, but then we catch some of this blotchiness down here. This is what I was talking about earlier, where I just play around until I get something that kind of works. And I'll go back to 100. And my smoothness, let's go up to a 2. And that shrunk those a little bit. And if we go down to a 0.5, it widened them quite a bit. So I'm going to go back to a 1. I'm going to turn off that mask, or turn off the preview. And I'm going to close this preview window. And now let's look at the whole image. I'm going to preview the mask. I'm going to open up the preview window, and you can see it got a lot of the stars, the smaller ones not so much. And you know, that's one of the trade-offs. If we use the built-in mask, it's not going to catch everything, and we might want to do more of a luminance mask type of thing. But I know that for this data set, this is probably going to work pretty well. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to turn off the preview. I'm going to turn off the preview mask, because if we do this right now, let me do this. I'm going to delete this preview. And if I leave this check mark here, watch what happens. We end up with our mask. And that is not what we wanted. So always remember, whenever you have these options to preview something, always turn it off after you're done working and checking and validating. And now we will come here, drag and drop, and let's come back when this is complete. All right, that has completed. So let's zoom in on an area here, and let's undo. You can see a lot of that salt and peppering effect. And if we redo, much smoother, much nicer. So if we undo it at the top, I can definitely see a difference. Might not translate very well in a YouTube video, but I can definitely see the difference. Much smoother through there. So I'm going to call this good at this point. I'm going to close this out. And with that, I'm going to say thanks everybody for watching. Hope you found it informative. As always, clear skies. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching yet another video from the Astrometry Junior channel. Really appreciate your viewership. In our upper right, we have the latest video we've uploaded. In our lower right, we have what YouTube might think you would enjoy. And in the lower left is our subscription button. Please like this video, subscribe if you so choose. As always, clear skies, have a good one, and remember Duke.